Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Our question of the day comes from Jen in Tennessee.
All right, Jen writes, I came to this country years ago with nothing. I've worked hard, don't have any debt. My house is paid off. Just stop there. That's so great. And I'm investing. Growing up with nothing and being so hungry and so poor created a scarcity mindset even now that I'm in a place where I have all the necessities that I need. Sometimes it's hard to wrap my mind around it, and it's hard to not feel guilty sometimes. I would love to hear your wisdom and advice about how I can develop a spirit of contentment. Whew. I have grown up my whole life in the States, Dave, but I identify with this.
Okay.
Like just that sense of feeling guilty sometimes, feeling like, why me? Like that sense of something's not right. And it's tough, man. How have you wrapped your head around that all these years?
Well, I think this 90% of solving a problem is realizing there is one. So she's identified that she should not have this, but how do I not? You know, I feel discontent, and I should be in a place where I'm content. I feel guilty, and I I didn't do anything wrong, so what am I guilty of? There's nothing to be charged with here. You didn't do anything. There's not a crime committed. You didn't wrong anyone. No one got hurt. You didn't steal your way into this position. You worked your way into this position. So, you know, the only thing I've ever been able to come up with is that has helped me a lot. I balance my consumption with my generosity.
Yep, me too.
If I feel a tinge of I don't feel worthy to be here, which I don't, that's why I tell people I'm better than I deserve. I'm really smart and I work really, really hard, but the blessings in my life are beyond my smart or hard work. Okay?
You're right.
I mean, that's not humility, and that's not false spiritual pride or something. It's not a humble brag. It's just simply an intellectual observation that I have a life that is beyond my smart or work ethic. I got good smart, I got good work ethic, but my life is beyond it. Okay?
Correct.
So I'm better than I deserve. Those of us that are Christians, we call that the blessings of the Lord, okay? Which is beyond what I did. I played my part, but it's beyond what I did. And so you can say I'm better than I deserve. And that's like, people go, you ought to be positive and say you deserve it. It wouldn't be accurate. I am better than I deserve. And it's a statement of grace. Doctrinally, I'm better than I deserve because I deserve hell, and I'm not going because of Jesus. Okay, so all that stuff. But aside from that, when Sharon and I are able, I remember the first time I tithed, because I give 1/10 of my income to my church. The first time I ever made $100,000, and I gave a $10,000 check. I was like, oh my God, that's so much money in one lick. I mean, one time I like want to kind of announce it, you know, like this is going in the plate, boys and girls. Look at me. This is happening. $10,000. You know, I mean, it kind of all that stuff went through my head, but it's just a normal rhythm of our life. So we automatically did it, but it was still like, wow, that just happened. And I've continued to have those feelings with, that now we're able to give more than we used to make, you know, a lot more than we used to make in a given year, you know, and so generosity helps me go, okay, it's part of the rhythm of my life, and it helps me to not, quote unquote, feel guilty. I don't ever really feel guilty. I've not had that issue, but I do have the sense of I've gotten more than I deserve, but I don't feel. Guilt is not the word for me. It's just unearned blessings. That's different than guilt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the word that I hang on that has stuck with me and that has been very helpful is practicing. So Jen was surviving her whole life. Yeah. And now she gets to practice giving. She gets to practice enjoying.
Godliness with contentment is great gain.
And so if you've never done it before, so if Jen was asked to start learning a new language or Jen was asked to start doing gymnastics, she would stumble and fall and hurt herself and sprain an ankle. It's part of it. Same as giving. Same as contentment. Yeah. So when I remember I felt so guilty a couple of years ago buying a guitar. It sat on me. And so I went and found somebody to give a silly amount of money to, like to donate toward a thing, as not a way to offset it, but as a way to practice. Okay, I feel this, and then I'm going to not just stew on this and not be dramatic, but I'm going to be extra generous, and that's been a way to balance it for me.
You know, when I practiced that, I can remember precisely the first time I practiced that. That's interesting, because I was driving a Mercedes that had 260,000 miles on it, and it looked nice, but it was a piece of crap. It was completely used up, and a guy that was working for me at the time, I was probably worth a couple $1 million, something like that. A guy was working for me at the time, was in the car. We jumped in the car and we were driving to Chattanooga from Nashville, which is a couple hours south of Nashville. And stupid thing overheated. And so I'm off the side of the road at the dadgum truck stop, rummaging through the dumpster, trying to find a bottle to get to get some water and pour over the radiator, because I'm a redneck. I know how to fix the stupid car and keep it going, right? I know how to get the thing cooled off, and I'm going to get it on down to Chattanooga. And this guy working for me is a friend of mine. He's just ragging me to no end. You freaking cheapskate. You've got millions of dollars, and we're here on the side of the road because you're too dadgum prideful to buy a decent car because you're afraid of what somebody will think about you having a nice car.
Ooh, gotcha.
Totally got me. It owned me, because that's exactly right. I had reverse pride. I was like, I can drive whatever I want to drive. Well, I was driving a piece of crap. And I was afraid that somebody would think, since I'm on the radio telling people to sell their car, that I shouldn't be driving a nice car. And it made me process through the philosophy that she's dealing with here. And when I got home, I went and bought a 2-year-old Jag, which was a great car. And I drove that car for a while. It was the ones back when Ford was making Jags. They were good cars. And I don't know, they may still be making them. I don't know, but it was a great car, like in the 90s. And so anyway, that was a while back. That was a couple decades ago. And then fast forward, I went the other way. Up in 2014, I got a bunch of criticism for having a nice house. Some guy decided he was going to go bananas on the internet, and it pissed me off, these left-wingers, communists telling you can't succeed in America and you should be ashamed of success. And I went the other way, and I went and bought 3 cars.
You showed them, Dave. You showed them.
I drove one of them today. It's a 2014. So, but so you could but
so I think the moral here is
saying it out loud and then practicing your way through the emotions and not letting other people set the tone.
Right.
It's not about other people. It's about what's right between you and God. Are you being proper towards your family, towards your community, towards your future? And being responsible with that, have you done anything wrong? Are you morally out of whack somewhere with how you're gaining the money? Probably not. But then there's always some moron out there that's going to be envious or jealous that throws dirt on the Jen's success.
Whatever side you're doing.
It could be your family.
Yeah.
It could be something else. Like we say, you're getting above your raise and all that stuff. But anyway, you just say, look, it's between you, your brain, your conscience, and God. And if you can get that straight, and that's a matter of practicing, adding generosity to the equation, intentional generosity that grows as your income and your wealth grows, so that the generosity is not back at your old income level or your old wealth level, and your enjoyment grows as your wealth grows as well, and your use of money for personal consumption, the quality of your vacation, the quality of your dining out should go up as you go along, but not so much so that it's out of whack. All of that fits into this contentment issue. It's a great discussion, Jen.
It's a great question. And I think the meta thing here is it's okay to feel weird anytime you're doing or experiencing something that you're not used to. That's okay. You're not crazy. Not something wrong with you.
Matter of fact, there'd be something wrong with you if you didn't feel weird.
Right. So just make sure you practice.
Practice your way through it. That's good. Good word, John. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.